moving on from failed experiment of the human condition, Joy Reid. And I always have to verify that it's Joy Reid when I see the clip, because I'm like, is that Joy Reid?
Joy Reid.
Or is that someone doing a Joy Reid impression? Is that Lizzo? Grimace? No, all of the clips I'm about to show you are Joy Reid. And I know you'll see why it's so confusing.
Yeah.
She's also in favor of not only medical discrimination, but this is the irony here. There's no consistency, right? This is the theme today. Compassion and tolerance. That's what the left has said. That's why I don't use the term compassionate conservative, because I think allowing people to make their own decisions and be free is compassionate enough. I don't think there's anything compassionate about spending somebody else's money, which the pharmaceutical companies have done. But where are the people who used to bitch about Big Pharma? They're gone. Yeah. I digress. So Joy Reid, compassionate, right? She was compassionate about Obamacare, about the Affordable Care Act, about the public option, about not denying people for pre-existing conditions, about making sure that everybody gets health care and that people don't have to pay for it because it comes from a magical land of chocolate rivers and sunshine farts, or Nancy Pelosi spins recycled trash into golden yarn and insulin shots or EpiPens. So she was all about the socialized health care then. Cost was not an issue. But now, Joy Reid, we just went from Canada, Joy Reid, thinks that the unvaxxed, because they're the reason for the surge, need to pay more. Here you go.
Let's talk about what other countries are doing, because at some point, I feel like people who are willfully unvaccinated,
does that girl have a Fauci shirt?
Yes. Don't get vaccinated. But they need to start to pay a little
faucet
bit more
and
of
her breasts are too small.
Cost of what this is doing to our system. There are fines that are levied in places like Germany. Germany has stopped paying for the tests, the virus tests for people who choose to be unvaccinated. They've ended quarantine pay for those without vaccinations. IKEA, the company, is slashing sick pay for unvaccinated UK workers. If you are a smoker, insurance companies can charge you more. They can charge you a premium up to 50%, and you have to put that on the form when you apply for insurance. At some point, don't we have to make people who are just saying, I'm willing to take the risk to be unvaccinated, take the risk for me and take the risk for everyone I come in contact with? Shouldn't they have to pay more into the system, because they are collapsing our health system? They're the ones in the ERs.
Now, a couple of things. Everything she just said is incorrect, but I guess I don't need to say much more than that. But here's something that's pretty interesting. This actually comes from Kaiser Permanente. Of the 52,000 infected with Omicron, not one person needed a ventilator. People with Omicron are 91% less likely to die. They're 74% less likely to be admitted to intensive care. And by the way, this is across vaxxed and unvaxxed. Now, it would be one thing if she was saying, if you're going for insurance, you have to check the box that you're a smoker. It's like, oh, okay, right. So you agree with that? No, I think that's an invasion of privacy. So you also think it's an invasion of... No, you should have to check a box if you're vaxxed or unvaxxed. How about a little bit of consistency? I think that if you're a smoker, you probably have to pay more for insurance. I understand that. I think if you're a black tar heroin addict, you probably should sign that on the form. I also think that fine, if insurance companies want you to list that you're vaxxed or unvaxxed, well, look, then they need to prove that there's a discernible health outcome difference. They can't do that right now. We know that if you smoke, you're more likely to get lung cancer.
Well, if you have a breakthrough case, though, it means you have super COVID, and it's actually your fault for the spike, so you should pay the tax.
You should pay for everyone else's COVID.
That's what I feel.
Right.
If there's one more mutation because of a leaky vaccine, I think that the makers of the vaccine should have to pay all of the costs for the new mutated virus.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, it's going to be adamantium COVID.
Nice.
Well, Joy Reid never misses an opportunity to peddle the lie that if you're vaccinated, this is what she said by insinuation, that if you're vaccinated...
You should start pedaling a bike. You'll see the next clip. You'll know what I'm talking about.
She really lives up to her name.
Yeah, she does. Not Joy at all.
But she can't read.
No.
She never misses an opportunity to peddle the lie that if you're vaccinated, you can't spread this virus. Because she said, if you're unvaccinated, you're willing to take that chance for everybody else. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Because you can still spread it if you're vaccinated.
Now, let's contrast that, and then former Vice President Biden is speaking right now. Oh, he hasn't updated his hair plugs, but we'll go to him after this because
it's good. He always looks like he's looking into the sun in a dark room.
Well, he's trying to. He's looking for the sun. I hear it's good to look at it. Where is it? Can someone point me my eyes in the direction of the sun? Contrast this with Joy Reid, an absolute joy who can't read, her support of universal health care, the Affordable Care Act, and of course, her screeching about the idea that health insurance companies might be able to decline you for pre-existing conditions, which is almost the entire idea of insurance to begin with. But here's Joy Reid then.
Aside from the sort of pragmatic issues, Alabama County, you've got 5,000 rotted masks from the national stockpiles. We've got a lot of issues at the federal level. But I think the biggest has to be the fact that we don't have a universal health care system to make sure that if you go in and you're treated for COVID-19, who pays for that? Who pays for the tests that you're getting?
Why is Ray Romano
6 million
there?
people and counting who've been who contracted the coronavirus. Even if they survive it, then have a pre-existing condition. It looks to me like Republicans are trying to indemnify insurance companies from having to cover those people. That would be the outcome if the ACA went away, right?
Absolutely. So he can say, yeah, you got to cover pre-existing conditions, but what he doesn't say is that you cannot charge people more if they have a pre-existing condition. Donald Trump does not understand health care.
So she actually really was championing the idea that insurance companies shouldn't be able to charge you any more, even if you don't have insurance, and say, I have COVID and I would like insurance now.
Right.
However, now she draws the line at being unvaxxed.
Well, actually, the headline, Stephen, is that Joy Reid wants to tax minorities.
Yes.
Because minorities tend to make up a large proportion of the unvaxxed. Also, she wants to tax women.
Yes.
That's the headline. I'm sorry. That's what it is. If you guys are going to play this game, so can we. You want to tax minorities, Joy Reid. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, she wants to subsidize wig manufacturers.
It's true.
Well, she is subsidizing.
Look, either you came back from a cruise with those crappy little beads in your hair.
I don't know if that's
and a tattoo that's going to wash off in a week.
She had a man bun in one of those
Yeah,
clips.
she had a man bun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm somebody who I wish there was a universal health care, because I do believe that if somebody's extraordinarily sick, they should get help. Jesus never asked for a copay.
He did.
But no, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
You missed it in
Nope.
2 Thessalonians
Well, you're
17.
wrong.
Yeah.
But
He also put tax collectors in the same plane as prostitutes.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how you get socialized health care.
Hence the same thing. I know it's how you get socialized healthcare. I'm not saying socialized healthcare or universal healthcare, putting a political label on it.
Right.
I mean, somebody who's sick should be able to get help. That's my point.
Yes.
And all we've done is I just hate everything. I'm just
No. Finish your point. I understand exactly what you're saying, but this is, again, the compassionate version of that as a conservative looking at the free.
Well, there should be a compassionate version of it, and there's not. Everything's politicized. It's the same thing that she just went out there and said.
Yeah.
It's the same thing where when it was Donald Trump, you want to sit there and go against him when he's trying to do the right thing. Now all of a sudden you have this dipshit in office, and she's going against her own words.
Yeah.
And going against her own people, going against pregnant women. Being unvaxxed is not a condition.
No.
Right.
It's not.
No.
Bottom line. Cancer is a pre-existing condition. Sure, there's certain things that you may have had that are a condition. Not taking certain medicine is not a condition.
Right.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Being Joy Reid is a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, that's
she
there's
shows
definitely
up.
a pre-existing C in there.
I mean, I wouldn't admit her to St. Jude's.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.